Hello, and welcome to another episode of Brenda's Musings. So today I want to talk to you about the belief that everything is going to be okay. It doesn't matter what life throws in front of us, we just have to know that everything is going to be okay. And I want to preface this episode by saying, I apologize for the length of it. It's longer than usual. And I also want to preface it by saying that these are my thoughts and my opinions, and that I understand if you don't think the same way. All of these musings are just things that I put out there into the world because sometimes we hear things that just resonate with us, and people have told me that sometimes what I've said has resonated with them, just as sometimes when they say things that resonates with me too. So all I ask is that you just stay open and just know that I'm not trying to belittle anything that anybody has gone through or is currently going through. Okay, so having said that, we are on a learning planet, and life throws stuff at us, right? Sometimes there are these giant, seemingly insurmountable obstacles that are thrown at us, that throw us for a loop, that send us into spirals of fear and hopelessness and sadness and anger and frustration. And, we kind of have to sit with all of that for a while. We kind of need to acknowledge that that's what we're feeling. And then we need to take a chisel and a hammer, and we need to start striking that obstacle. We need to start striking that rock and just chiseling, a foothold into it, so we can start to, climb out of this pit that we're in. And, with each strike of the hammer, we need to be thinking of ways that we can flip this whole situation. What are the possibilities in front of us? What if everything wasn't going to stay horrible? What if something was going to get better? What might that look like? What are the opportunities that are put in front of us? What are the lessons that we can learn so we can move forward and not find ourselves back in the same spot again? What are the joys that might come out of this? And you know what? Those thoughts are a lot harder to recognize, to think about when you're at the bottom of that pit. And I totally get that. And that's why we need to just keep striking that rock, as my analogy goes. With each of these thoughts until they take a foothold, until we start to believe them, until we start to see the possibilities in front of us. And with all of that comes a little bit of power, right? To know that we are not totally useless, like totally helpless. To know that the situation can be conquered, can be overcome, can be put behind us. And it's in those moments of hope, it's in those moments of belief that we really become the best versions of ourselves. That we really, understand that there is nothing that can be put in front of us that we cannot overcome, with the exception of death. And and even in the death part of it, we're not dead until that very last moment, till that last breath has been drawn. So you can live in that pit as if you are already dead, or you can move forward with the life that you have left, because we don't know. That whole saying, you could walk out tomorrow and get hit by a bus, or today and get hit by a bus. I mean, it's true. I'm sorry, bus drivers. But it's true. We don't know how much time we have on this planet. So we need to live our best lives at almost, every moment of every day that we can. We need to overcome these challenges that are put in front of us, or in my case, in many ways, challenges I put in front of myself. right? It's not even like the universe is throwing them at me. We put them in front of ourselves. Like, what's with that? That's a topic for a whole other day. But we need to know that we can live in that hope, in that world of possibilities, in those opportunities that are in front of us, in gratitude, in love, in happiness, and joy. Those are the things that are going to uplift us. Those are the things that are going to take us out of that pit. Those are the things that are going to make each day worth living. And that's what I hope for everybody. That's what I hope that, the next time life throws you this horrible challenge, is that you remember you can keep striking that rock, and eventually a small chip is going to come off of it. And you just keep striking it. And you just keep striking it. And yes, you might get tired and your arms might ache. And that's fine. Rest. Regroup. Go back. Strike it some more. You will get out of that pit. You will get out of that pit. That's my musing for the day. Have a great one, everyone.